everyone, it's Pocket with MMORPG, and I'm here to talk in another game phase! So the first topic I want to cover is a game that has been around for a long time. Well, I mean, they're making a new one, they're doing a remake or a redesign of it, but it's the Ultima series. So it's going to be Ultima 4, and pretty much BioWare Mythic is going to be redesigning that game. And I really look forward to playing it because I am a fan of Ultima. Now, I didn't play the Ultima series because I was almost in diapers still. I was still playing with Barbies and Kens and G.I. Joes and stuff. And yeah, so I didn't really play video games at that time. I did get into Ultima Online, which when UO came out, I was around the age of 9 or 10, and when I started playing, I was actually 12. Ultima Online is the one that I really got into, Played it for 7 years on and off. And so I really do look forward to anything that's Ultima. So this is going, like I said, it's going to be a redesign of the Ultima 4, and it's going to be cross-platform, which means it's going to be on PC and on the iPad. It's not going to be a Facebook game, though. And it hasn't been announced if it's going to be available for iPhone and Android, which, I don't know. I could see it working for iPad, but it might be too small to play on something like Android. It will be multiplayer, but it will not be an MMO. It'll be basically co-op play, so you'll be able to play with friends, but it won't be this massive online world that you'll be playing in, and it won't be single player as well. You will, well, I guess it will be kind of single player if you don't want to play with friends. You will get to explore the lands of Britannia again, and also you'll be basically playing a fighter or a mage. That's the two classes so far that have been announced. They haven't announced any others, and basically I guess the fighter is going to be like a warrior of sorts, or swordsman, or whatever you want to call it from Ultima Online, and the mage is going to be a caster. It's going to be a mage, a wizard, whatever you're used to. It is going to be a position-based game where you'll be able to utilize collision, and it will also depend on reaction time, so you're going to have to react to things going on in the game, people trying to fight you obviously, and use collision, and you get the idea. I am really looking forward to this, and I really am curious to see how BioWare plans on adding their sort of, because they are really good at making RPG games, and so I look to see how they're going to grasp the Ultima lore and how they're going to make it work in this sort of setting. I do look forward to it. I look forward to trying out the gameplay, and I am going to be in the beta. You can go to the website, sign up for the beta, and when they let people in, you can try it out yourself. And I look forward to this. Tell me what you think about this. Is anybody else out there, Ultima fans, that are looking forward to playing this? Now, they have said that if this game is successful, they are going to think about remaking and redesigning other ones, including, you know, the other Ultima series and Ultima Online. Now, I don't know if they would redesign Ultima Online to be an online game or just a multiplayer game as well. They haven't really said what they would do. However, I am one of the few people probably out here begging you to please make another Ultima Online. Ultima Online 2, please. And when that happens, I will be the happiest person in the world. I seriously will. I really, really will. So in other news, we do have kind of like a WTF is going on, what are you thinking news, and that is that a guy in Canada was stabbed over World of Warcraft. Basically what happened is this guy heard his neighbor yelling and arguing, and he was concerned and went over to check on him. And when he did, he realized that this guy was actually fighting and arguing over World of Warcraft, something that happened in WoW, and he tried to calm him down and say, it's just a game, you need to calm down, seriously. And the guy ended up getting upset, even more upset, and he's like, it's not just a game, it's a way of life, and started hitting him and stabbed him in the chest. And of course the neighbor got rushed to the hospital, he ended up surviving. But at the same time, it just calls attention to people who take games way too seriously. I'll be the first to admit that I've raged in games. I've raged quite a bit, but I've never gotten to the point where I wanted to cause physical harm to someone else, or to the point where I actually would if I did get to the point where I wanted to, but I still wouldn't do it because I just know in my mind that it's just a game, I'm taking it way too seriously, and of course I don't, no person deserves physical harm for anything in an online game, especially World of Warcraft. It calls attention to the fact that these people, I'm sorry, but you need help if you are that into a game that you consider it life. It's an online game. It's there for your pleasure and pastime. It's not there to completely replace your life. They are enjoyable, and you can get really into your characters. Like, you can really get into them. And that's the glory of them, is you can go into this world and be something that you are not in real life. I mean, I guess you could try to be a dragon slayer in real life that throws fireballs and stuff, but it's going to be really hard. It'd probably be more realistic to be an archer or a hunter or even a warrior. But still, it wouldn't be realistic to go around with bows and arrows shooting at people that, you know, look like bad guys. And it just, I really think that people need to step back. Like, if you're that into a game that you start neglecting family and friends and any sort of social life, you neglect work, or you can't handle your own emotions, as hard as this is, you need to step back. Step back. And if you know someone that's like this, then you need to have an intervention with your friends. Like your friend that is like that, because it is a serious issue. I know that I used to be really addicted to games, and even I was like, you know, I'm taking this game way too seriously, I'm playing it way too much, I'm neglecting my friends, I'm kind of neglecting my family, and so I quit playing all games for a year in college. I wasn't going to pick up a single game. And so by the time I had completed that year, you know, I went back and started playing games again, but I knew how to control myself and how not to take it overboard. And sometimes that's just what you have to do if you get that into a game that you can't control yourself. And sometimes that's what you have to do for other people. Like, I had friends raising concerns with me. Like, you play way too much, you never hang out. Games can be just as addicting as drugs. And just because you play a game doesn't make it better than, you know, and you get addicted to it, but, you know, you're not doing drugs, that doesn't make it any better than a person who's addicted to drugs. You can still have the same bad consequences, even physical consequences, because you never are going out and working out, and a lot of people don't eat healthy when they are that into a game. Just my opinion. I'd like to know what you think about this as well. Like, do you know anyone that takes games way too seriously? Or perhaps you did at one time in your life. I just admitted I did, and I had to step back and take care of it.